Did you know that 80% of the carefully crafted checklists, blueprints, and ebooks that you may be using to attract your ideal clients are never opened? It's pretty scary, huh? 80%. Well, you're in luck because our guest today is the quiz queen, Catherine O'Leary, and she's an expert in creating an ideal client attraction system through the power of asking questions. So, welcome, Catherine. It's a pleasure to have you.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for having me, Cindy. I'm very excited to be here and to talk to everyone.
Okay, yes, and I'm super excited to dig into like the power of questions. But first of all, can you let us know how you became the quiz queen?
Yeah, so I definitely didn't grow up wanting to be the quiz queen. I wanted to be the Wolf of Wall Street. So I went through school. I have a master's degree in economics, and I went off to corporate and practiced market research and consumer insights. So I asked a lot of people a lot of questions about what they bought, what they needed, what they were challenged with, what, they desired to have. And I'd translate that for corporate into, products and services, into, marketing campaigns and sales conversations. So working with the likes of Apple and Adobe and Pepsi, we asked consumers questions about what they were using, why they were buying the things that were buying, and what was missing, and then creating new products or marketing campaigns or new sales strategies based on their answers. When I left corporate, I was trying to figure out how I was going to ask questions for a living still. And what I found was that entrepreneurs, so corporate, go back to corporate for 2 seconds. Corporate spends a ton of money understanding their end consumers and really gaining those insights. Entrepreneurs tend to skip that step, and we go straight from a marketing hook or a marketing campaign into a sales conversation. And it's a little like proposing marriage on the first date. We haven't asked any questions. We haven't actually gotten to know anybody. We haven't actually, spent time really understanding what people are challenged and struggling with to offer a solution yet. And that's where I found out that I could help people ask a few questions and to get that relationship started in a little less creepy way than going straight for the conversation of sales.
Right. And in a different way than that first date where you have that horror date that is just sitting there talking all about themselves and doesn't give you a second to talk back.
Exactly. It's all about them, right? So you want to be asking about your ideal client and
Right.
what they're going through. So yeah, good point.
Yeah. And so I absolutely love that. And so why and how do the right questions attract your ideal clients? Because I'm sure there's some wrong questions too.
Oh, there are a lot of wrong questions. So bane of my existence, there are wrong questions. So the right questions are really basically you're asking your clients to take a little bit of a journey with you. So you're drawing them in with what I call the 3 a.m. questions. So what is your ideal client really struggling with? Like, what are they at 3 a.m. waking up saying, oh my God, how do I? Or I wish I could, or my dream is. Like, what is that conversation that they're having with themselves or their partners at 3 a.m. that they're, just trying to figure out and get a hold on. And again, that's your ideal client. So you really want to be talking to your ideal client because you really just want to be drawing them into your community and into your audience so that you can serve them. And then the questions that follow from that. So when you pose that question that makes your ideal client think, oh my God, I just woke up thinking that exact same thing. Like, how do I go from 6 to 7 figures and grow my business that way? Like, what am I missing? What's my blind spot? what are the questions that make sense from a journey perspective? So you don't want to go into what's your dog's name, what's your car and what you have for breakfast, and then come out with a financial plan. That makes no sense. That's what drives me bonkers.
Right.
But something along the lines of, okay, you want to go from 6 to 7 figures. Tell me a little bit about your business. Where are you at in the journey? Tell me a little bit about your systems, maybe a bit about your team. What are you struggling with right now? What do you aspire to be maybe a year from now? Okay, with that kind of information, now I am better suited to say, you know what, there's a few things that people that are going from 6 to 7 figures struggle with. Maybe there's three: there's mindset, there's teams and delegation, and there's systems. Some people are going to be struggling more with mindset at the moment that they're taking the quiz. You can talk to them about mindset and how to
Mhm.
go from that 6 to 7 figure mindset. Some people, it's all about the systems, right? Like, how do you get the systems and that, the back end going? You can talk to them about that. And then some people are just really needing that team and delegation and processes around helping them hire people and being able to let go of some of those tasks. You can talk to them about that. Now, every coach or every business going from 6 to 7 figures needs all three.
Right.
So all you're doing really is meeting your client where they're at in the journey, in the process of getting to, the overall end result. And the cherry on top is that you've taken them on a little bit of a journey. You've, identified the blind spot. You've given them maybe a couple of things that they can do to get over the mindset, or to, put in place the process, or to hire the team members. And then you invite them to the second date. You invite them to the masterclass, to the webinar, to the sales page, whatever that happens to look like. But now you've had a conversation. Now
Mhm.
you've had give it, a little bit of give and take.
Something that really struck out at me whenever you was talking about meeting them where they are. I always say the best compliment I can ever get from somebody is, "You were reading my mind."
Yeah.
So that's it. Whenever you can connect with somebody like that, you've got them because they know you, they like you, they trust you. They're like, "You was reading my mind, so yes, I trust you to help me,"
Yes.
versus versus just talking all about you and not about them. So whenever people go and they take the quiz, or if somebody creates their own quiz, we're talking to coaches, authors, speakers, small service-based
Yeah.
online business owners, what can they expect? What type of results can they expect if they take the time to create their own quiz?
Yeah, so a quiz is a very strategic part of your marketing system and your client attraction system. And the thing is that when you when you take the time to really get into that 3 a.m. question, understanding your ideal client, take them on a little bit of a journey, make them think that you're the mind reader. What you're going to do is you're actually going to attract more ideal clients because you're hitting them with that 3 a.m. question. But by the time they get to your webinar, by the time they get to, your masterclass, they're actually primed and ready to buy. So your
Mhm.
conversion rates are going to go up. So when I put my first quiz in for my network marketing business, I tripled my leads and doubled my sales because I was talking to the right people. And I
Mhm.
had the ideal clients in the room when I was making my offers. And it was a question of whether or not they needed the information or the offer. The question became more of, okay, how do we work together?
Right. So instead of the people, they're not sitting there going, "Oh my God, what's she going to try to sell me?" Or "I'm just here to learn." They go in wanting more of you, and then they're eager to buy from you because they want the results.
Right, because they're already at the point of, well, she knew that it was all about mindset.
Right.
So, like what else do I need?
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, yes, I need systems. And of course I need team. And this package has all of those, including mindset. That's amazing.
Mhm.
So you end up with your ideal clients in the room that are already prepped, knowing, like having that know, like, and trust factor with you.
Yeah. And there's a lot of quote unquote assessments out there. So what's the difference of an entrepreneur creating a quiz that asks questions versus an assessment?
Great question. So, in my experience, a quiz is really great for that two-way conversation, and taking them on a journey, making them think a little differently, about where they're at and where they want to go. It's a little bit more of a an actual like word-based conversation, and it tends to be a little higher up in the funnel. So it tends to be more for lead generation, more for getting to know us. Like, you don't know me as well as you could, and I don't know you yet. Whereas an assessment, fantastic for applications for high ticket offers, when you're trying to understand, or for coaching calls when you're trying to understand where the gaps are, of people that are like, maybe on a scale of 1 to 10, like, how do you feel about, do you have a mission written, do you have a vision set up, do you have your course content all done? Like, you can have people score themselves and take a little bit of a discovery journey that way, in order for you then to be able to go in during a coaching call or during a sales call and say, okay, you know what, this, like, I'm meeting you where you're at. This, these are the 3 or 4 things that we really need to hone in on and bring you up on, and be able to move forward with. That's what this program will do for you. The thing about an assessment is, you're being assessed, so you're being scored, right? And not everybody wants a score at the end of the day. So, which is why I like to use them a little further down the funnel, if you will, when you're talking more about, maybe it's the next program, or maybe it's the high ticket offer, or the mastermind, or it's for, like, we're about to get on a coaching call. Let's figure out what we need to hone in on of these, like, maybe 10 or 20 things. What are the 5 things that we really need to focus on and make sure that we're addressing to get you to the next level?
And so also a lot of people, and I know you've worked with a lot of clients. So
Mhm.
you talked about, after the quiz, they want to go to your webinars and master classes for the next step. If somebody wants those one-on-one clients, do
Mhm.
the quizzes also help them get those original sales calls? And does it increase the show up rate on those original sales calls?
Oh, great question. So for sure, you can always, direct people after the quiz to your calendar, right? To your one-on-one calendar. And the thing is that you can structure that as a roadmap call or a strategic call to talk about your quiz results, right?
Mhm.
So let's go deeper with the fact that you are STS, or that you are, you're all about brand, or you're all about mindset. Like, let's dig a little deeper into that. But also, let's talk about some of the other things that you might need as you go through this journey. So again, you're talking to your ideal client. You've been the mind reader for them. It's only going to help, as they get, booked onto your calendar, for them to show up and want to show up. There are lots of ways after the fact to make sure that you're following up, and that you're reminding them of their appointments, and that you're not scheduling them out too far so that they forget. But the quiz will help them kind of get excited, because they want to learn more. I'm all about mindset. Let's talk about that.
Right, I see that. Originally, whenever I asked that question, I was thinking that maybe after the quiz, you send them assessment before the sales call. But that, from your answer, doesn't sound like it would be a good strategy.
You could
The
do, yeah, you could do that. I think that it might be overkill.
assessment.
I think you can have the quiz go straight into a call, or you can have an assessment go straight in the call. I don't know that you need both.
Right. Okay. That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking, is both. Have them take the quiz and give them assessment when they schedule the call. But you should have enough information from the quiz that you could create a good sales conversation with them based on their individual needs.
Yeah, I mean, basically, all of the tools are around curiosity and around learning about each other. So you're going to use the tool that is best suited for where you're trying to where in the journey they are with you. So if they're learning about you, maybe it's more of a quiz conversation. If they already know you and they've already taken some programs, or they've been in your community for a little while, and you're just saying, hey, you know what, we haven't talked for a little while, let's get on a call and see where you're at and see how we can help you move along. That might be an assessment. So like the tool that you use is the best tool for what you're trying to accomplish.
Okay, absolutely love that. And I know that you have a gift for our audience. So can you tell them what the gift is and what they're going to gain after they take your quiz?
Yeah. So basically the gift is, so I truly believe that every business deserves a quiz. I have yet to meet a business that I can't do a quiz for, or an assessment, or like a
Mm.
questionnaire. So if you would like to learn a little bit more about where you are in your quiz journey and what quiz type might be best for you, you can go to quizformybiz.com. And there are 3 different types of quizzes, or places that you would be at in your business, that will help you understand how a quiz can really help your client attraction, and get that kind of that triple that leads and double those conversion rates.
Right. And so, everybody, I do definitely suggest you head on over to Quiz for My Biz. That's QUIZ for my biz, biz.com, and take your quiz and figure out where you are and what quiz is going to best help you build your business, maybe to the first 6 figures, maybe to 6 or 7 figures. But you can never go wrong with having a quiz, because our minds are geared to answer questions. It's just the way we were built as humans. So you want to go out there and grab the gift and see how Catherine can help you create your own winning quiz for your business. And Catherine, do you have any final words for us before we leave?
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing, honestly, is get curious. Don't go straight from the marketing, hook or whatever into the sales strategy. Ask some questions. So don't guess, just ask.
Don't guess, just ask. I love that. Okay, thank you, Catherine. It's been a pleasure having you, and I will see you around. Bye-bye.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.